Hey everybody, it's Brian with Drill and Moose Hideaway. Been a little while since we did a video. We're trying to revamp the YouTube channel, and we're starting out with a series of videos here that was inspired by a conversation that Molly was involved with on Facebook in another group about a lady that lived on a homestead, and tragically her husband passed away. So if that person's on here, I do want to give you, my sympathies. But basically, she was asking, how do I learn all the things that, the quote-unquote man things that my husband did on the homestead that now I have to do. And so I'm doing a series of videos sort of addressing this with just kind of what some of us would consider more basic skills. But they're important because not everybody knows everything, and some of us need to learn things. I mean, there's plenty of things that I don't know. And so these videos are really for everybody, but that's what kind of inspired it, and that's what I'm sort of gearing it towards. So maybe some of the people that may find themselves in that type particular situation, or maybe a single woman on the homestead, or even some of you guys that maybe didn't grow up with a father who was handy with certain things, that really want to do this lifestyle and kind of learn some basic things. So I'm kicking this off with a video here on replacing the power switch on a generator. And this is kind of how these videos are going to happen for the most part, is just things that I'm coming across here on the homestead. We had the power switch on our generator malfunctioned, and basically it turned on, but then when you flip the switch, it wouldn't shut the generator off. And so we replaced the switch, and the video you're going to see here is just us doing that, and just trying to show you that there's a lot of these things that you could take care of yourself. There's a lot of things that there are many people that would possibly take something in to get repaired that really isn't that difficult to do themselves if they just have kind of the knowledge to do so. And so I'm just trying to share that stuff. And like I said, I wanted to tell you what my inspiration for this series of videos was. To be kind in the comments. Y'all are really good at this. I mean, we don't really get negative or nasty comments or anything like that on the videos, but I just want to say, like, some of the stuff is going to be for some really, really basic, but I think that you need that basic foundation, and I think that's important. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video and that you find it helpful. And look forward to more. Like I said, we're trying to do a series, and we're trying to get these up regularly, working out some kinks with uploading. So these will be posted on the Facebook and YouTube, and they're probably going to be put up. Probably could be a few days or a week or so after it's actually filmed. Just kind of when I can get to where I can upload video. Anyway, from Drill and Moose Hideaway, have a good one. Enjoy the video. All right, so we're going to be replacing the switch on this small champion generator. The switch failed on us. Basically, you couldn't turn it off. If you turn the switch off, the generator would keep running. Just a problem with the switch. And this is where you can save yourself a whole lot of money. It's a pretty simple fix. And just, some basic tools and a little bit of knowledge. I'm going to show you how to do it. In fact, I'm going to show you how easy it is. Caleb's going to do it. I'm just going to explain to him. So now, there's different models of generators, but this is going to be fairly universal. I mean, it's basically going to be the same with a little bit of variation, or even for replacing any sort of this type of toggle switch, on-off toggle switch like this. So this is the switch you're replacing, the on-off switch here. It's really simple, it's really cheap, and it can save you a whole lot of money as far as trying to replace it or take it in somewhere to get repaired or something like that. We can just do a switch. So we're going to replace it with just basically any generic toggle switch is going to work for this. I got this one at Tractor Supply. I can put the details in there. Now, the one thing is this replacement switch we got has a different design. This switch has basically a square rectangular hole that it snaps into, Most of your toggle switches are going to be like this. You're going to have a round hole. So what we did is we just went ahead and drilled a new hole. And we're just going to put it in here next to where the old switch was. And I already drilled it. It's a 1/2 inch. Most of these are 1/2 inch, just a 1/2 inch drill bit. And we just drilled it in through the panel here right next to where we're putting the other one. Okay. I already did that previously. But so the first thing we need to do is we need to take this front panel off here to get to the switch and wires. Make it a whole lot easier to do it. You could probably replace this without taking it off, but this will be a lot easier. We're going to take it off so we can show you how we're doing. So very simple. This is a for this model. So this is a pretty popular model. If you've got this model, this will be real helpful for you. It's a 10mm socket. And Caleb, you want to take these 4 mounting bolts off. So go ahead and take those bolts off. So you're just going to remove these bolts, and then we can take this front panel off. It's going to make replacing this a whole lot easier. While he's doing that, I'll show you just the tools you need. A basic socket set like this. Set of drill bits if you're going to need to drill a new hole for this. Most of these are going to be 1/2 inch. So a 1/2 inch drill bit and drill. And I just have a Gerber multi-tool here. It's really all you need, or you know, just a set of common screwdrivers and pliers and whatnot. Very basic tools is all you're going to need to do this. It's really simple. All right, so now open that up so we can get into the back of the switch here, and you'll see there's 2 wires connected to it. Okay, we're going to disconnect those 2 wires. All you do is just pop those off the back. There's one and the other. Simple as that. Now we're not going to even worry about taking the old switch out because we're not putting it into the same hole. But if you did want to, you can look. There's just 2 little plastic tabs you pinch. Right, and you push it out on this particular switch. It's just a plastic clip deal. We're going to put it into this one. So go ahead and take that out of the package. Yeah. All right, and so if you can see here, the way this mount, there's actually 3 pieces that are threaded on here. Okay, this is an outer ring. That's what's going to hold the switch in, as well as a little lock washer. But right here, there's basically a nut right here, and what this is going to do is we can adjust. We can turn this so we can adjust how far in or out we want this switch to go. So when we put it in here, right, we can put it so that it's not sticking way out. So it's basically you can adjust it to the thickness of the material you're putting it in. You still want a decent amount of threads in there. So we'll put this right about here. And Caleb, go ahead and put. The big thing you're going to want to see on off, right? So on the side here it shows on and off. So you want to make sure that your switch is, you know, oriented correctly for on off is generally how people want it to be. So we've got that like that. Go ahead and put that switch in from the back side just like that. Real easy. Okay? And then put this lock washer on. Okay? There you go. And then you take that ring and screw it down on top. Just be sure not to cross thread. It's not, you know, it's kind of hard to cross thread it because it is a fine thread. Okay, and you just want to hold the back of the switch and tighten this down. Finger tight usually works. You can always get a pair of pliers and just give it a little bit of an extra turn there to make sure that that's nice and tight. Now, you look, different switches will be different. This switch in particular has a ground, which isn't needed on this particular application. So we're not going to use the ground, and it should be labeled here. It's actually labeled on the side of the switch. We already took the switch out. So right on the side of the switch, it'll tell you which one's the ground. So we have load and power. Okay. So our power is going to go right here. Go ahead and connect that. Push this right down on top of just a spade connector. And it should just push right down on top of that. Oh no. That's the wrong size spade connector, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to have to get a different spade connector. I'm going to have to go get some. I don't have one right here with me. This is a different size. So I'll cut the video and come back and show you. But basically, it'll be good because I can show you how to swap out these connectors. Here, a couple basic tools for that as well. And we just need to connect these up and put this back on here. So we'll cut the video and we'll be back. All right, we're back. So I didn't have the spade connectors that I needed in the right size. I normally have some. I'm just out right now. So what I did for the sake of getting this video done today and getting this working for now is, and I'll probably include a clip of this, we basically just stripped the wires and put them through, taped them down. It's not the 100% correct fix. It will work. And we're going to redo these. When I get the spade connectors this next week, I'll put them on there and connect it properly. But this will work. You can also, if you know how to solder, you can solder them on there like that. That's a common technique, is to solder them. And I have the soldering iron, but the problem is I have to run the generator to run my soldering iron. So I couldn't really solder them that way. So we'll just wait till we get the spade connectors. This will work for now. They're connected and they're covered up and insulated like we want. So all we need to do now, this is in, okay, is we're going to reattach it here, mount it back up, and then we're going to test it out, make sure it works. And we'll take that outside to do that. And if it doesn't work, then we may take it apart and see, you know, exactly what, maybe we connected it wrong or whatever. But, you know, it should work just fine. So Caleb, go ahead and take your screws there. I'll help hold this up. I mean, it's as simple as this. You pull it off. You know, like I said, you may need to drill a hole. But, you know, as you can see, we just mounted this right next to the old switch. No harm there. You know, there's plenty of room here where we could put just about anything. You could add, if you really wanted to, this generator doesn't have an hour meter. But if we wanted to, we could run an hour meter into here too. We could cut out and attach an hour meter in, so that it keeps track of how many hours the generator runs, which can be helpful for keeping track of your maintenance. Generally, things like oil changes and stuff like that should be done for, you know, X amount of hours of runtime. You know, it's just kind of like an odometer in your car. You know, you could change your oil every so many miles. You would change the oil or whatever every so many hours. So that's something you can do too. When you've got a panel with this much room, there's really nothing behind here. So, you know, you can, you know, add on as necessary or as you like. And, you know, I may do that. I may put an hour meter on this and you know, do a video how to show you that. So, I mean, it's a simple little thing. It could save you a little bit of money or something like that. It's a quick, easy, cheap fix to something that otherwise would, you know, prevent your generator from running properly. And actually, this failed in a rather unique way. Normally, when they fail in such a way that they won't turn on. This one wouldn't turn off. And I'll show you here as soon as he's done what you can do if that happens to you. If your generator's on and it's running, or another piece of equipment like this, might be a, I don't know, a log splitter, you know, whatever you might have, a small piece of equipment where you hit the power button and it doesn't turn off. You know, then what do? I can show you that as soon as Caleb's done getting these all tightened down. These don't need to be really cranked down hard. You know, you're not trying to break them. There's just a kind of a thin little heel coil in the back anyway. You just want it nice and snug so that the vibration doesn't, when this thing runs, it's going to vibrate. You don't want them shaking loose and falling apart. If you're really worried about it, a little bit of blue Loctite on there, but it really isn't necessary. Just snug them down, not super tight. Got them all good? All right, so I'll show you here. And all generators are, and similar power equipment is going to have a gasoline shutoff, just like this. This is a gas valve. Anytime you move your generator, you want to make sure that this is turned off so you don't have basically fuel flooding it out. Actually had that with a generator where I ended up with fuel in the crankcase, and it was a problem because I forgot to turn it off before I was tipping it around and moving it. So that's one thing you can do. So this is normally the on position on this generator when it's running. If you can't shut it off with the switch, it's simply turn the fuel off. It'll run for maybe 30 seconds and shut down. Or what you can do, which accidentally happened here, when we had this issue and I wasn't here, and I over the phone said, hey, you know, turn the switch off. Well, they turned the wrong switch. They hit the choke and choked it. That'll shut it down too. I mean, that works, you know, no problem. The preferred method would probably be just shutting the fuel off though, rather than choking the engine out. But either one of those will shut it down in case you have a generator that doesn't want to turn off. So we'll take this outside now and test our switch out, make sure it works. Thanks for tuning in. As you can see, that's the new switch connected there, and it's working. We've got voltage, so it was successful.